What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Emporium's movie review of King Richard. This film's directed by Reinaldo Marcus Green. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell top to find what's coming next. If you like any of these videos, awesome. Hit that like button as well as commenting below any videos you watch, including this one. So King Richard is a autobiographical story about Richard Williams, who's played by Will Smith. He is the father of Serena and Venus Williams, who of course are very famous athletes. And in essence is a very template story about how his unconventional methods took him from LA Compton to, of course, Miami, Florida, where they met Rick Massey, who's played by John Bernthal, and how not only did he use those unconventional methods, but he helped, with the help of his daughters, break barriers, boundaries, whether it be color, ethnicity, and so on and so forth, in the world that was tennis, which was predominantly white for the most part. And that's in essence what the story is. It's about him basically raising and pushing his daughters to be the greatest, which as we know they were. And so a movie like King Richard is what I call a feel-good movie of the year, or type movie of the year, where it follows a very, I want to say conventional type of story where individuals are in the David position, they have to rise against the Goliath position, and they eventually in the end succeed. And we've seen it in movies like The Rookie or Miracle or Queen of Katwe or even Cool Runnings, I guess you could say, where it has a lot of, the characters go through a lot of situations, is very inspirational, and it fills your heart with joy when you see the movie eventually conclude, because because this is a true story, that everything will work out in the end. But while you're watching it, you're very tense and you're very worried for these people, but you know that there's going to be some good outcome. So with a movie like that, it's very much an audience pleaser, a very much crowd pleaser. It will make a lot of money, and it gives great performances, and it's a movie you can put on with the whole family and watch and enjoy. Now, just to let you know, it is PG-13, so there's some violence and some language, and it is a little more adult than some of those other films, but it's very much in that feel-good family type film of the year. So on the other side of the coin flip, or the flip of the coin or whatever, this is very much an Oscar-y type movie. What I mean by that is there's been a lot of buzz, of course, for Will Smith's performance as Richard Williams, as well as Aunjanue Ellis. It's a movie that really feels like it could tug at the heartstrings, of course, of the Academy. Motion pictures, but it's also, like I said, a feel-good movie of the year. It's just that type of film, and so a lot of times these types of films will be very, very strength forward in that type of situation. But with all that said, with all the Oscar buzz and all the talking about this movie and so on and so forth, does the movie work, and is it successful in what it's trying to do as being a film that's not only heartwarming but inspirational? And absolutely, it really is. It's a very entertaining movie. It's a very inspirational movie. It's a movie that's going to be a huge hit with the audience. Walking out of the theater, everybody loved this movie. Even myself, I love this movie. Does it have its problems? Absolutely. It's a very standard film a lot of times when it comes to the genre it's portraying in. But what makes this movie work and what makes a movie shine like this is the performances. We have Will Smith, who is giving an Oscar level performance. Aunjanue Ellis, Oscar level performance. But you have the kids who are, they're in the background because this is Richard Williams' story, but they are very much the center focus for why Richard Williams does what he does. And that's what gives the character and what gives Will Smith the strength to make the story much better, is he's an individual that's very hard-headed, but he has the best intentions in mind, and Will Smith portrays that in spades. So therefore, he's giving a very nuanced performance. He's giving a very honest performance, a very earnest performance. He does some things that really make people mad, but it works. It really does. It works in spades. It's one of Will Smith's best performances. And I'll be absolutely honest, if he doesn't win the Oscar for this, then I don't think they're ever going to give him an Oscar, because this is one of those performances that really deserves to be looked at as a shining performance of Will Smith's career. And he's talked about how this role was definitely shaped by the death of his father, so there's much more going into this character than even probably Richard Williams presented. So watching an actor take real life stuff that he had to deal with, put it into his role, and on top of that, it's a movie about racism and dealing with going against the grain with David and Goliath, with the whole fact that tennis was mostly a white sport. Really, he does a really nice job of just trying to punch that wall until he eventually succeeds. succeeded. But on top of all that, you know, Aunjanue Ellis, who plays the mother in this movie, she's an individual that is very conflicted with what Richard is doing. She definitely is very strong-willed and strong-headed on who she is. She has $5 she has to raise. She's doing it with a husband who's trying to push their daughters, but they're trying to push their daughters for the right things. But she's willing to say what she needs to say, and it's very much, once again, a very nuanced, very Oscar-worthy performance. But Aunjanue Ellis does a really beautiful job as a mother, and she has some of the best moments in this movie where, you know, what she says and what she does definitely shapes the way this movie kind of continues as it moves along. And of course, Saniyya Sidney plays Venus, and Demi Singleton, of course, plays Serena. What's really interesting about this movie, to talk about it, is this movie actually doesn't focus on Serena very much. It actually focuses on Venus's kind of journey, which I found really interesting. Now, with that said, it doesn't mean Serena is not in this movie as a big part of it, but the focus on just one of the Williams sisters and kind of Richard Williams' kind of drive for her to, you know, eventually end up with Rick Massey is a really kind of interesting concept because, you know, Serena and Venus are considered two of the greatest athletes of all time. I think Serena was number one, you know, correct me if you want. But Serena won like 23 Grand Slams and Venus won a bunch of Wimbledons. But I thought that was really fascinating. I really did. Fascinating that just one of the sisters, using her as like the main thrust for Richard Williams and, like I said, Rick Massey. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I was expecting to have both sisters kind of be in the main spotlight with Richard Williams being the main person. But like I said, it just focuses mostly on Venus. And it really gives her a lot of dimension. I'm not gonna, you know, discount what she's doing because Saniyya Sidney does a really nice job. But I thought that was really interesting, and what she has to deal with, and how she's very protected by her father, which, you know, he should be, but how she has to kind of push her father to kind of let her do what she wants to do, really gives her a strong performance in this movie. So. And like I said, you have John Bernthal as Rick Massey, and of course Tony Goldwyn as Paul Cohen, very famous coaches. They're there as just very much characters that have to kind of deal with Richard Williams' character and his unconventionalism. They're not exactly what I would call like the most spectacular roles. They're the roles that they just have to be in the movie because they're important to the story. But I think they give, you know, at least decent performances. There's nothing really to their character. It's just they're there to do what they need to do. But it's Tony Goldwyn and John Bernthal, and you know, I like them as actors. So I think they do a competent job. And so on the like film side, like the presentation of the movie itself, you know, Reinaldo Marcus Green, who worked with Will Smith on the Netflix documentary America, does a really competent job. There's nothing really bad to say with what he's doing. It feels like he worked with Will Smith and kind of, you know, developed the story, knew exactly where they needed to go. It's a very conventional type looking movie with like the cinematography and the music and the, you know, the costuming. So there's nothing really special about it, but it's still a movie that presents a very hard-hitting topic, a very interesting dynamic between a family and what they had to do. So I think on that surface level, it does a really nice job, and then goes into some deep, you know, very uncomfortable stuff, but does it in a pretty justifiable way. So overall, I think this movie is truly a wonderful movie. I think it's an excellent portrayal of a family, of two sisters, of a father who pushed those two sisters. And I think it does a nice job of just explaining how this world is very cynical sometimes, but sometimes the people that are in that cynical world will do everything in their power to make it not cynical. And, you know, like I said, it's with Oscar-worthy performances and just a great level of entertainment that is for the whole entire family. So, and so with that said, that is my take on King Richard. Thank you so much for watching. In the comments below, are you interested in seeing this movie? What do you know about this story? Is there anything that you're looking forward to? All the good stuff. But otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button, and as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.